What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. What's up? What's up? Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Have a seat. Have a seat, guys. Come on in. How you guys doing this happy Wednesday? Hope all is well. My name is Tim, and this is Tim's On Demand. How you guys doing? Today I want to do a kind of like a part two from yesterday's commentary. And, I just really enjoyed yesterday's commentary, you know. When we were speaking about, and just as a reminder, just to speak about when you invest in others, when you invest in others to make others do well and feel well about themselves. Today is kind of like a part two to that because I just had some time to reflect on it, right? And I believe in the moments of life. And right now, I'm just having a moment, just reflecting, just like I told you about 3 or 4 weeks ago about reflections. So today's topic, guys, is when your positive energy or your energy resonates to other. Now, let me say this before we get started. I am not a licensed therapist or a doctor. I am just a man with a camera and some audio equipment, and I'm just giving my personal opinion, okay? All right, and I am Tim with Tim's On Demand. Can't wait for these 12 weeks to be over with of content so I can move on and restructure this whole studio and start something new and make it more exciting for you guys, right? So what are we talking about today? Well, I can give you so many examples of when energy, whether it's positive or negative, or kind of neutral in the middle sometimes, resonates with others. But today I want to stick on the positive side. That's what a lot of YouTubers don't like to do, but I want to do that because I'm here to help you guys get through this thing called life, this journey through life. And haven't used the word journey in a long time, but that's my favorite word. Like I told you yesterday, and I'm going to say this. When you ever seen, let me give you a good example. When you see, for example, a person that entered a room, some call them alpha males, some call them alpha females. I don't believe there is an alpha female. I believe there's an alpha male. I just think it's a woman that with a good presence. So when that presence come into the room, that energy level, everybody likes them. It's something about them that makes them feel good about, make you feel good about yourself. She makes everybody feels good in the room, you know? And it's got nothing really to do with the looks at all. I mean, of course, it's good when her looks resonate, but it's something about her. She can be a plain Jane, but it's something about her energy that make people want to be around her. She's somebody's grandmama, somebody's niece, somebody's sister, somebody's mother, somebody's wife, somebody's girlfriend, somebody's best friend. It's something about that person that when they enter into that room, and it goes for guys too, you know, everybody wants to be like them. Everybody wants to be around them because of that energy that they have, that positive, resonant energy. And like I told you guys more than one time before, when you have positive energy, it resonates. It comes back around tenfold. When you invest, like I told you yesterday, when you invest in other people, hey, how you been? Something as simple as that. What's going on in your life? Hey, you took care of that? That thing that you was working on? Let's talk about it. Let me call you on the phone. When people know that you're there for them, and it don't have to be financial all the damn time, guys. Just being there for people. Just being an ear to listen to on a telephone. People remember that. They don't just remember the negative stuff, they remember the positive stuff too, guys. Okay? I know that we're a society now where negative sales, and it is what it is, right? But on the flip side of that, you want to resonate with the positive as much as you can. Now, some people you can't, you can't always help. And it is what it is with that, right? That situation. But when you put out that energy to people, and then it's a collective of people, and then when you go to some kind of event, and I'm just using this first scenario, some type of event, guys, where it's going to include a whole bunch of family and friends, and when you enter it in that room or that cookout or something, people are just going to be like, wow, here comes Tim. Here comes Teresa. And it's not a racial thing. It's all across the whole board. You can have people of different races. If they love you, they love you. And I know at a lot of times when someone passes away at a funeral or some type of event like a funeral, people always like to use the cliche, oh, she was a good person or he was a good person. They always took off their shirt, which was a lot of times it's bullshit. Let's just be real, okay? You just got to say something good for the deceased. But you will know it's an unspoken thing about a person who really done something that affects other people's life in a positive way. It's an unspoken thing. You will know, even when that person passes on, you will know when something is done in a positive, that positive energy that they let out. So when it resonates to other people, it comes back, guys. I'm telling you. I've seen so many scenarios growing up. Give you a good example. My older brother, for example, he 6'2". He passed away in 2009. Took me a long time to emotionally get over that because he was a big brother that was really, really, I looked up to, like my hero. But people loved him. I mean, he could be witty, he could be funny, very charismatic. And I'm going to tell you something, guys, about charismatic people. They can use it to their advantage for positive or negative. That's how a lot of these people who have these religious cults, they're very charismatic. They have that energy that resonate with others around them. They'll say stuff that you like. We're different from the rest of the people in this world. Jim Jones, Reverend Jim Jones, not the rapper, but the real Reverend Jim Jones, was very charismatic. I've heard him talk and preach before. Oh yes, guys, I'm there for you. I understand, Miss Johnson, that your son was put up in prison, but what we're going to do is I'm going to get with these politicians and we're going to get them out. And I just love you. I just love you to death. Come on over here. We're the first interracial church, in which they were in the 60s and 70s. We're the first mega church, in which they were in the 60s and 70s. We are the people's temple. Come on over here, guys. Let me just love on you. And, God said, if you want me to be your brother, I'll be your brother. If you want me to be your God, I'll be your God. I've seen 23 documentaries on Reverend Jim Jones, and I've seen people like him before. Charles Manson was just nothing more than just a pimp. He was a pimp. He really, at first, was a pimp. And people was trying to figure out this guy and why. Well, people were there for the drugs, people. That's why he had all of these young girls and these young guys. And this was during the hippie time when, drugs and hashish in the late 60s. The guy had a mouthpiece. These were all charismatic people. Jim Jones, all of these guys were just all of these people that wind up doing these mass suicides and so forth. And then on a positive note, you got people like my brother, and to a certain extent, me too as well, you know, who people just enjoyed being around because, he was the type of person, he would go to any city, any town where we had the little RV. We would go to California, Alachua, Florida, Gainesville, different places, Orlando, back in the 70s and early 80s when I was a kid. He just had this coolness about him. He knew how to dress. He's kind of like a black James Bond. He was just, that Christopher Williams, curly hair, tall, good-looking, light-skinned black dude. And women just loved him, and men just wanted to be around him. It just because of that energy. He made everybody feel good about themselves. No matter where you were in your life, he made people feel good. And I used to sit back as a 10 or 11-year-old, and he was like 15, 16 years old. And I used to just observe and watch. And I said, I want to be like you. He said, no, be like yourself, little brother. I still love you. You just be better than me. And shout out to my brother Andy, Not trying to get emotional with it, but, Charles Manson, that's what I was thinking about, Charles Manson. All of these people, they put out this energy. And like I told you before, it always starts off positive with some people, and then they mislead people to the negative. But you got to have the mindset and the discernment to see between the right and the wrong. And a lot of times people get caught up in cults because they give all of their self to. A lot of times people go through something in their lives that are negative, and they put all of their trust in that one person, that one individual. A lot of those people that follow people like the Charles Manson and the Jim Joneses of the world is because they've been through a lot of hardship. Some of them were homeless. Some of them came from single-parent household and two-parent households as well, but just had low self-esteem. So you got to have a discernment in that as well. But I believe that God put a level of discernment in each and every one of us. We just got to listen to it. We got to keep our peace and be still and listen to what he's saying. Because when you feel something that is not right within you and is uncomfortable, you got to question it. That way you won't wind up drinking the Kool-Aid, cyanide, and being laid out on the floor like that. You got to have personal discernment with prayer every day. And I'm not a preacher, guys. But on the flip side of that, guys, you just want to do things for other people. This is actually part 2 of what I was saying yesterday. You just want to stay as positive. And I know it's hard out there these days with the economy being the way it is. Trust me, I know. Job loss, people losing their houses to foreclosure and so forth. It's hard, guys. I understand it's hard. It's hard to keep your head up when shit is going down. But let me tell you this. If you stay prayed up, and this is just my advice, and keep seeking for positive things, and keep trying to help people in a positive manner, and also seeking help for yourself as well. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. I do it all the time. Then the floodgates God will open for you. We have to stop as a society resonating bad energy to people, because that's what causes stress, despair, and crime. Yes, crime to people. And I'm not shooting a bird at you guys, but crime to people as well, right? I tell you guys all the time that my getaway spot is when I like to go to St. Augustine. When I get on 95, it's just like a maybe 25-minute drive south. And I like to walk down the neighborhoods and see the sights, but I really like walking down the house neighborhoods, and it's just like when it's just boring, especially in the afternoon or sometimes late evening, and when it's just boring, guys. It's just, I love it. I love the stillness. I love the fact that they're just reconstructing houses. Every site tells a story. You got the historic part of it. You got the military. You got the Marines. You got 400 and 500 years of history with the French and the Spaniards, and oh man. Then you got the college there. You got the little shops there that's really nice too as well. Then you got the little venues and people entertaining. Then you got the little park in between there. And another thing that I like to go is to the little art galleries. Now they got the bigger ones and they got the little small ones as well. I think they probably got about, I want to say about 15, 16 art galleries there. From the big ones to the little small ones and so forth. And when I usually talk to people, especially about my channel or just what I'm doing, even before I started this channel 11 weeks ago, people can feel my energy, guys. People can feel when I'm at peace, not only just in St. Augustine, but here in Jacksonville as well. Jacksonville, Florida. People can feel your energy when you're sad, when you're happy, when you're mad. And a lot of times people just know it's just a temporary thing, that you're just going through some type of emotion that's temporary at that time. But also people know that this is a part of your personality and the way you carry yourself. Because like I said before, energy resonates through us. And yes, it's an unspoken thing. So you got to have self-control, guys. That's something that's not has been taught, but it's a common thing and a common courtesy to others, right? So what I'm trying to tell you, no matter what you're going through in life, learn how to discipline yourself and put out positive energy no matter what. And if you need to seek help, please seek that help. Okay? And with that being said, guys, thank you very, very much for joining me this Wednesday. And if this is the channel for you, please consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that like button, and also hitting that notification button. That way you'll know when new content is being presented. Also, share with like-minded people like yourself. And I can't wait to restructure this whole YouTube studio and do something different. Make this more entertaining, because it's educational now, but make it more live and fun and entertaining, like I did at the beginning, in the first week. And you can go back and watch those videos from the first beginning. All right, guys, thank you very much. And I'm not just Tim, but I'm Tim's On Demand. Oh my. All right, so you guys just go ahead and let yourself out. Go ahead and let yourself out. Pull that door to. Don't let the flies and critters come in. And also, guys, I want you to have a happy good afternoon, good evening, and a good night. And I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, tomorrow is Love Thursdays, okay? Got a surprise for you guys. But for now, I'll see you next time, okay? Resonate that positive energy.